Hey guys, welcome to the video. Today I'm just going to demonstrate how to make a space shooter game from within Visual Studio with the use of Windows Forms. Just to start us off, I'll show you what the actual game will end up looking like. Pretty much we're just going to have a main menu, start the game. You'll have your player just here, shields to the right, score to the left. You'll be able to shoot and take out a lot of these guys here. It's pretty much Space Invaders. You'll notice we'll have health also spawning. Won't be able to take it because I haven't lost enough health. So you'll see here, just take that. Charges up the shields. And that's generally the gameplay loop for this application here. So first things first, we'll open up a new Windows Form application. So open up Visual Studio, create a new project. Windows Form application, name it Space Shooter, save it in a appropriate directory, so boom. Alright, apparently something already exists there. Delete that. Sorry about that. Yeah, so just create the project from within that folder. So I've got all the sprites for this application from this website here. So if you're wanting to follow along, that's where I found all of this. It's all free and open source, so it's pretty cool. And yeah, let's start her off. So after you've made your project, just first things first, rename the form to Space Shooter. Yes. Good enough. Open up the code. So what that will do is actually change the class itself, which is good. What we're going to need to do is change the background color of this form to black. So this is going to act as our main playing space, I guess, just here. So within the properties tab here, just change the dimensions to, I think it was 1900. Yeah, that seems about right. Yep, so change that. So what also we need to do is change it to fixed single for now. Change the text on the top to Space Shooter. So this is what's displayed just up on the top left here. And I think for the form itself, that's pretty much all we're going to need. Or we change the position to the center screen, so when we move to this page, it'll be all nice and centered. Okay, we're going to need a few elements to put into here. So we're going to need a label. So find the toolbox on the left, drag the label in, change the fore color to change the fore color here to white, change the text, score 0 just to start her off. This is going to be changed dynamically from within the code, so this is more of a reference than anything. We'll change the font size to, we'll say 20, looks alright, yeah, that looks good. We'll change the name. We'll change it to label score. And that's pretty much it for that. So what I like to do is just copy and paste that. Drag this over to the right. Change that to shields. Change the label name again. Label shields. That's pretty much that. Head back to your toolbox. Grab. We're going to need a progress bar as well. That's going to be kind of like the health bar. Drag that appropriately as well. I think that's a pretty good size. Yeah, that works. Rename that to shields. Yeah, shields bar should be alright. Change the initial value to 100. See that fill up there. And I think that's pretty much all I'm going to need for that. Next, go back to the toolbox. You need to find the picture box. Drag and drop that. Just right click this, choose an image, and import the resources. So I think I've got my resources somewhere else. So just in here. So just bear with me. Space Shooter. So I like to leave the resources just within the project. I guess it doesn't matter too much. We're not going to be using these. Get rid of that. Alright, so what we're going to do is just highlight them all, open them up, and that'll load that into the resources within your project. And then just select the up and press OK. So this is going to be the main player just here. Rename. So I'm going to name this to player. You're going to want the size mode to be auto size, because we're going to be switching out the sprite pretty often, so you don't really want to have to change the size of the image every time. Change the tag to player as well. And I think that's pretty much all we need for the GUI side of it. Next, you're just going to need to go back to the toolbox and take out a timer. Don't know where it is. There it is. Timer here. Rename that, I guess, game timer. Set the interval to 20 milliseconds and enabled true. So pretty much what this does is every 20 milliseconds it's going to call a function. Head into the events tab here, and you just have to name that function. So we're going to name it game tick. It'll automatically pull that into the code just here. I believe, yeah, for the design side of it, that's pretty much all we're going to need for now. So we're just going to head into, well, first things first, we'll head into the program class just here. We're going to need a public directions, yes. Sorry, can't spell. Enum direction. So we're going to need that to be just up, down, left, right. So it's just a collection of values essentially just here. Some people like to create an enums class and just kind of store them all in there. It's not too large of a project, so I think it's fine just putting it in the namespace here. So this will be available throughout the whole program. So that's good, leave that there. So go back to the Space Shooter class just here, and we're just going to need a few values. So actually go back to the design quickly, head into the form. Now we're going to need a few functions to take in the user input. We're going to need a key down function, so that'll be is key down. It'll automatically create the function within the software there, within the code, sorry. We're also going to need is key up function just there. And I think that's pretty much all we're going to need. So from here, we'll just need to create a few extra classes. So we're going to need spawn manager. So a class that will just take control of all the UFO spawning within the game. We're going to need a what else are we going to need? We need something to handle the collisions, so a collision manager. So this class is obviously just going to handle all the collisions within the game, whether that be with the player or the lasers themselves. We're also going to need a class to for the enemy movement. So this is just going to be a pretty basic AI just to control the movement of our enemies within the game. And I think that's a pretty good baseline for now. We will be making more classes, but for now we'll leave it at that. Head back over to the Space Shooter class. So we're going to need a couple instances of those classes we just created. So spawn manager, misspelt it, that's always good. So just change that, spawn manager. Pro tip, Control R twice, it'll rename the variable or the class, whatever, within the whole project. So if you ever screw up somewhere, that's a nice way to do it. So just hit spawn manager. I will name it just spawn manage, I guess. We're going to need an instance of the collision manager. Once again, spelling things incorrectly. And then we're going to need the enemy movement. We'll just name that movement. Manage, I guess. Alright. So the movement of the player is actually going to be controlled from within this class. So we're just going to need a few variables here. So we need a couple booleans. Go left, go right, go up, go down. We're going to need an integer for the player's health, or in this case shields. We're going to need an integer for the speed of the player, and for the score, for the player's score, which will be 0 to start off with. We're also going to need what am I doing? Direction. Alright, so once you have all these variables up on the top, we're also going to need, I think, a few extra functions for now. Maybe public. So private. So we're going to need a shoot laser function, which will take in a direction. We're going to need, I'll put it up here, maybe private void. We need something to take the user's input, so get user input, put that in here. We'll probably need something to void player. Okay, is player alive? This function will just determine whether the player is alive, and end the game or reset the game appropriately. So I think for what we got here, that's a good basis. So next, so we're just going to need to so in the constructor just here, we need to spawn manage equals new spawn manage, spawn manager, collision manage equals new collision manager. So we just need to create the new instance of these classes. So what do we name it? Movement manage equals new enemy movements. Just bear with me 1 second. Okay, now that we've got this all set up, we just need to figure out how we're going to take the user's input. So head down into the isKeyDown function that we've created just here. We just need to add in a bit of code. So if e dot key code equals keys dot left. We need left. I'm lazy, so just copy and paste this. So we need left, right, up, and down. So these will just take in just the keyboard inputs essentially. So if the keyboard is left, go left equals true. We'll change the player direction to direction dot left. We will also change the player image. So we'll change it to properties dot resources dot left. So it's important as well that within your resources, so I'll just show you them here, that you rename them appropriately, just so it makes it a lot easier. This is how I've chosen to do it in mine, so if you want to just follow along, just do that. Alright, so go back into here. So that's movement for the left. Like I said, I'm lazy, so just copy and paste a bunch of this stuff. So we need to go right, change the direction to right, and then change the image to right as well. Up, for up, we need to change the direction to up, obviously. Change the image and go up, true. And then we'll just do the same for down. If I could type down, down, and change the direction to down as well. All right, so that should be all nice and done for that. What we need to do as well is pretty much do the opposite for key up. So that's when the user actually releases the key. You know, same. I'm lazy. Copy and paste that into here. So pretty much get rid of most of this and just change that to false. Same goes for this, false. Again, false. And just one more in here, false. Okay, so that should be pretty much all we need. Yeah, I believe that's it. So we'll add an extra one in here. So if key code equals dot, we'll go spacebar. So when the user releases the spacebar, we'll call the shoot laser function towards the player's direction. Okay, so I think that's a pretty good start for what we got here. Now that we got the player's movement all organized, we just need to create a few properties for these variables up here. Currently they're all private, so they're only accessible from within this class. So what we're going to need to do, first off, head over to some of these classes and just make them public, so they are also accessible, just like so. Head back into Shooter, so we're going to need a property for the spawn manager just here. It's going to be read only, so we'll just get rid of the set. We're not going to be setting it. We're going to need to access the player shield as well, so create a player shield property. And we need to access the score as well. Good stuff. All right, so now that we've got all that, we'll head back down into the is player alive function just here. So if player shields, just here, if player shields is greater than 1, so the shield bar dot value equals player shield. Sorry, player shield. Don't like the way that's formatted itself there. Else, if not, okay, guess it's gonna be stubborn. Sorry, it's my OCD kicking in there. If not, we'll stop the game timer. We'll stop the game timer and we'll add some game over stuff here. Alright, so that's pretty much all we need from that. So we'll need a, guess this isn't probably not the best use. We'll go move player. That's probably a better name for that. So within the game tick, so this is the function that gets called every 20 milliseconds, we will, first of all, we'll bring the player to the front, just because there's going to be a lot of picture boxes flying around. You'd always want to be predominantly looking at the player. We're going to see if the player's alive. We're going to display the label. So that will be score plus the score just there. We are going to move the player. We are going to do some other stuff here as well. We'll add that in later. So for now, that's all we need. Within the move player function, need a few things here. So if the player's to go left, so if that equals true, and the player so the left side of the player is greater than 0, player dot left minus equals speed. So move the player to the left. If go right, so if the player is to go right and the player's left side plus the width of the player is less than the, so go this dot, I think it's client, sorry, this dot client size dot width, spelled something wrong there, sorry, this dot client size dot width. So you need to keep the player within bound. You don't want to move them out of bounds. So player dot left plus equals speed. So move the player to the right. Once again, I'm lazy. So go up. Similar thing for moving the player up. So go up equals true. If the player dot top is greater than that, move the player, and then I guess it'd be more similar to that, so go down. So if the player is to go down, top, and the player, the height of the player is less than the client's height. So that's towards the bottom here. So what I'm going to do as well is add a bit of a buffer as well. Let's say about 100 pixels. So just a bit of a buffer towards the bottom here, so the player doesn't interact with a lot of our elements here. So it'll pretty much stop somewhere towards here. And that is pretty much all I need from there. Just a quick test, I guess. Open up, down. As you can see, won't go any further than here. Doesn't go out the sides. Top, right, and below. So pretty basic, works out. Awesome. So we'll go back, and I think for now that's mostly what we're going to need within this class here. Alright, so head back into your solution just here, add a new class. We'll name it laser. So within this class is pretty much how we're going to it's going to be the laser that we're going to shoot. So within here we're going to need a few things as well, a few variables. So we need to know the direction of the laser. We're going to need the, oh geez, I always do that. What's going on here? Sorry, what am I doing? Within the class would be nice. So go down. Need the, geez, all over the shop today. So we need the position, the left position of the laser. We're also going to need the top position of the laser and the speed in which we're going to shoot. We're going to need a new picture box, which will be the laser. New picture box just here. We're going to need a new timer. We'll name it laser timer. And I believe that's mostly what we need. I think we're going to be referencing a lot of these here, so create properties for most of them. I think you might even be able to just highlight and create properties for all of them at once, which is pretty handy. Can't do this because it's the name of the class itself, so make this public. Change it to, let's say, current laser. Oops, current laser seems appropriate. Okay, so I think for the variables, that's mostly what we need. This class is actually going to be an abstract class. So we're going to have different lasers for the enemies and the player, which will have different characteristics as well. So this is more of a blueprint, a baseline for what the other classes will do. Head down. Alright, so what do we need in here? We're going to need a few functions. So we're going to need a public virtual, public virtual void create laser. So that'll take in a form. So this form being our main game space just up here. So create the laser. So what we need to do is take the current laser, change the back color to transparent. Parent. I believe we may need to use some namespaces here. So using drawing just up on the top here. There it is. Current laser. The left side will equal the laser position left. The current type dot the top side will equal the laser top position. We will want to bring the laser to the front. We'll want to add the laser to the form. Like that. And then what we'll want to do is change we need to do the laser timer, set the interval to the speed of the laser just there. We'll need to change we need to add a function so we need to add a new event handler. We'll name it laser tick, and we need to start the laser just in here. So this event handler here is pretty similar. What is exactly from when we went in here. Just we don't have Visual Studio kind of putting it all together nicely. So we kind of have to do it within the code. So laser tick, currently throwing an error because obviously that doesn't exist right now. So we'll create a function called laser tick. What we will need in here is the object, the sender, and the event args. Just in there. Awesome. So we're going to need to write a few things within this function. So we need to get the set the direction of the laser. So direction. So if the direction equals left, do this. Once again, I'm pretty lazy. So we need left, right, up, down. So if the direction is left, so the current laser, the left, current laser dot left, so we'll move that to the left. right, we'll move it to the right. If the direction's up, we'll move that up, and if it is going down, we'll move it down. So plus that. Okay. So that's the basic control for the direction of the lasers. We'll also need to add a bit extra down here. We don't want lasers kind of just shooting endlessly till the end of time, so we're going to have a certain cutoff point within the bounds. So I'm probably going to put them just a bit outside of the window. So we'll go back into the laser function here. So if the current laser dot right is less than 0, or the current dot left is greater than 1,000, so our bounds for the size of our form, is just here. Or the current laser dot bottom is less than 0, or the current laser dot top is greater than 900, which is that. So if that's the case, we're wanting to stop the timer. We'll want to dispose the timer as well, get rid of it. We are also wanting to dispose of the current laser, and we just to be extra safe, just null out both of them. Awesome. So that's pretty much all we're going to need for this. What's going on here? Alright, so for the laser class, I think that's pretty much the general gist of it for now. Yeah, awesome. So what we'll do is we're going to go back into the Space Shooter class here, and just head down to the shoot laser function. Within here, we want to create a new. Actually, no, sorry. We're going to actually need to create so you can't create an instance of an abstract class. It's pretty much just a baseline. You can only create objects of classes derived from this. So at the moment, we will need to add a new class for the player. So we'll call that laser. We'll go blue. We'll have the player's laser be blue. All right. So within here, laser blue will inherit the laser class just here. What we will need from here is we'll need to override the what do we need to override? We're going to need to override the what was it called? The create laser class just here. So we'll override it. So void create laser. I believe it took in a form. Yes. So pretty much what this will do is so whenever making a laser blue object within the program, it's going to override this function. It's going to add a few things up here, and then it's just going to call the base function, which is all this common code here between our lasers. So up here, I'm going to need a few things. So if the direction equals left, so what we're going to need to do is change the image of the laser, because the laser's in different directions, so we're going to need to change the image appropriately for that. Sometimes Visual Studio can be a bit annoying with that kind of stuff. Image, so equals, so you want to go back into your properties, the resources, and then get I think it is laser left, I believe is what we're looking for. There. So we'll just grab this here, copy and paste this. So we'll go left. Oops, make sure you change this stuff here. It's good being lazy, but you got to make sure you actually do something. So laser right, change this to up, and then change the image to down. So I think that's pretty much most of it. We'll need to change the tag of this to, we'll name it player laser. That works. So we need to be able to differentiate between a laser that the player has shot and a laser that an enemy has. So that's just the way of doing that there. We'll obviously tag our enemy lasers with another tag. So I think for the blue laser, that's pretty much all we need. So we'll go back into the space shooter just here and just add some code into the shoot laser. So we'll go laser, just new laser equals new laser blue. I think a good way of knowing if a class is polymorphic is being able to create an object of the parent class, if that makes sense. So the blue laser is a laser, is a good way to test and see whether it's if it is a polymorphic class. So we'll need to change the direction of the new laser direction. So we'll need to change the direction of the laser towards where the player is going. We will need to change the position to where the player is. So we'll go player left plus we'll go the player width divided by 2. So the laser will come from half of the width. So in between, we'll go same for height. So we'll go height, and I think that's mostly what we need in there. So now we just need to go laser, create the laser within this. So this meaning this class just here. So we're looking at the space shooter class just up here. Let's have a look at what we've got now. Hopefully it all works. Not quite as I anticipated. Somewhat working. We'll see. What have I got wrong here? So top. So, you gotta be careful when you're copying and pasting, like I do pretty often. You got to remember to actually modify the code you copy. There we go. That's working much nicer. So boom, boom, boom. Awesome. So we can move around. We can shoot. It's all working pretty well. All right. So that's most of the player stuff done, I think, for now. What we will do next is we'll need to spawn. We'll do the health. So, in this game, there's a little pill that will spawn. I'll show you in the resources just here. Where am I looking? So this little pill here will spawn, and it'll pretty much just heal the player. Pretty straightforward. What am I doing? I'll show you what it looks like. So this is what I'm going. So this pill just here. So a little blue pill will pop up, and when the user grabs it, we'll be able to heal your shields. So we'll create a pill class. Within this class, we're going to need a few things. So we're going to need a picture box. We'll name it pill spawn, I guess is a good name. We're gonna need to know if the pill exists, just because you know I don't want to spam the screen with pills, because what's the fun in that if you can just heal 50 times? So we need to do the pill position of the top position of the pill, and just a few properties for this as well. So right click, create that there. What else do we need? So we're also going to need to what do we need? We need to spawn it. So we'll go spawn pill form once again. That, I don't know what that was. Try again. Spawn pill. Just like that. Awesome. So we'll go pill spawn. Oops, spawn, which is this one just here. So that's dot image equals property. So we'll need to go into our properties, resources, and grab the pill image. We'll need to change the size mode to picture box size mode to dot auto, so auto size. We'll need to change the what do we need? We need this. We need to create a tag for it. So dot tag equals, which will help with our collisions. We need to spawn dot left. We'll need to change the position to the left position. Yep, that works. Dot. We need to change the top to the pill pos top, and then we'll need to add this to the form, and then we'll also bring the pill spawn to. They all capital? My yeah. We'll also need to bring that to the front of the form as well. I think for the pill class, that's generally all we're going to need in here, I believe. I think so. Awesome. So we'll go. We need to implement a way to, well, you know, spawn the pill itself. So what we'll do is we'll head back into. I think we made a spawn manager. Yeah, we did, just up here. Now within here, first things first, we're going to need a reference to our game. So that's the space shooter game itself. So we'll name that game screen, I guess. That works. We'll also need to create a constructor within here. So spawn manager space shooter. This will take the constructor. Will take in the space shooter game. So the actual form itself, and it will reference. It will add a reference to that within this class, just here, like so. You also notice if we head back into our space shooter just here, it might kick a fuss somewhere around here. So in here, just this. So we'll be referencing this just here. Head back into the spawn manager just here. We're going to need a few variables other than that. So we're going to need, I guess, a random integer. So a random spawn equals new random. Just we're going to need a what are we also going to need? We're going to need a new timer. We're going to need a pill as well. What else are we going to need? We're going to need great is pill. We need to also know if there is a pill on the page already. What's going on here? New students interval, specify time interval. We'll leave that for now. Let's see why that's. Yeah, we'll fix it up later. Alright, so what we need to do is actually no, we'll leave that because we'll go into here, and what we need to do is set the interval. Spawn timer interval. What's going on here? So initialize new in the timer using to specify. Ah, wait, I don't think. Is it threading? A threading task? So I think the issue is, I think we need to go using, so we're currently using forms in here. Back to Spawn Manager, so we'll be using Windows Forms, and we're not using these as there, so that's better. Sorry, I was using the wrong time input. So anyway, let's go back into, so where was I? Where did you go back into the constructor here? Take set the interval to 1000. We need to change the timer to tick, so we need to add the function, so a new event handler. So we'll name it spawn tick, just to keep it simple, and then we will need to. All right, so we've done that now. We'll also need to create that. I'll rename it spawn tick class. Oops. We'll need object sender event args e. What else do we need? I think we need a few functions in here. We'll kind of stick to this pill for now, I guess. So we'll go. We need spawn pill function. And that's for now. I think that's pretty much all we're going to need. So within the spawn pill function, we'll need to create a new pill. So the new pill, so the reference to the pill just up there. Create a new instance just here. We will need to change the position of it. So we'll go pill dot. So I think it was pill position left or equal. So we need to do, so this random spawn here, so we need to generate a random integer between, let's say 20, and so we'll need, oops, my keyboard's playing up a bit. So we need to take the game screen, which is the form just here. We need to take the client size, so as we did a little bit earlier, so the client size and the width of that minus the size of, or the width, sorry, of the, so the pill spawn of the pill itself. Copy that, take the pill position, the top position of that, change a few things up, so go to the height, and we'll change this to the height just here. All right, so we'll also need to spawn it, so spawn pill game screen. So we'll need to spawn the pill within the game screen. So if you look back here, it just takes in the form here, adds to the form. So we'll go back into here, game screen, head down, and then if we'll add a property for this. What am I doing? Sorry. Add property for this. And then if the pill, so there is a pill currently on in the game space. So for the spawning, I think that's generally what we're going to do for that at the moment. We'll now need to head into the tick. So for every, I think 1 second's a good interval for testing things out. So yeah, so within the spawn tick now, we'll need to write a bit of code. So we need to do if, so we'll get, so if random spawn, sorry. So if, dot next. So let's say, what's the chance? We'll go between 0 and 1,000. So if that is less than, let's say 50, I guess. See how that works. So I don't know what that is in percentage, but that's the chance there. So if the chance of that, if there is, so if there is not, so if there is not a pill already, spawn the pill. Now I believe that should work for the sake of just quickly making sure it all works. We'll just do if that's less than 999. No, sorry, we'll go, no, 500. Or 50-50. Have a look, see what happens. Exception. So what we need to do is add the pill to the form there, and that should fix this all up. So there we go. See, it spawns there. Currently not doing anything, but spawned nonetheless. So all right, now that we've got that all working, we'll need to head back. Well, what should we do next? We'll do the collision. So we'll go into the collision manager, and we just need to be able to interact. So at the moment, our code doesn't really do much. The pill will appear somewhere, and it doesn't, the player can't actually interact with it. Let me just make sure that's actually spawning randomly. Yep, so yeah, it doesn't actually do anything. Not very fun. So what we'll need to do is head down into our collision manager. Once again, we need a reference to the actual game screen itself. We will need to create a constructor, and a nice lazy way to do this is just right click here and create the constructor. This will take in the space shooter class. I'll go game, and we will assign that to the game. So that's the reference just there. All right, so okay, what will we do? We'll create a, that's a good way of doing this. So we'll need a few classes, I guess. We'll go public. We need a detect collision class, function just there. We're going to need a void pill hit class. We're going to need a void UFO hit class for when we actually have some enemies within our game. And we're going to need a way to detect if the player has been hit as well. So, sorry, return type there. All right, so we'll start off with, I guess, we'll just go into the, detect. Well, first off, we need to detect the collision. So what we need to do is in here, so for each, so control, we'll go control X, in the game screen. So for each control within the game screen, we need to loop through those, so like so. We can add a few things later, so I'll open that up. So it'll loop through all the controls within the game screen. If the control is a picture box, and the we'll cast this so that, and the tag is pill, then we will call the pill hit function. We're actually going to need to we actually need to add a parameter there, so we'll need to give that the pass the control through to the pill hit function just here. Head down, so we'll leave that for now. We're going to add some stuff here later. Move down to here. So what we need to do in this function is just add, so let's say if the game screen dot player, not player shield, sorry, player. So what we also need to do, head back into the here, and we actually need to make this picture box accessible from outside of the class. So what we need to do, head back into Collision Manager, head to the game screen, player dot bounds, so the bounds dot, so if it intersects with the bounds of the pill picture box here, and then we will what we need to do, so we need to go game screen dot control, so we need to remove the pill. I hate this sometimes. Dot remove. So we'll need to remove that. We'll need to dispose of it, so we will cast this. So picture box, just to make sure. Dispose. So we'll dispose of the picture box as well. We will then change the spawn manager. We'll let the spawn manager know that there is no longer a pill on the game space. Pardon me. And then we will add some shield for the player. Now currently, yes, this was functioning well at the moment, but you'll notice if there's no build errors, which of course there is, there never isn't. There is no, where is it? Collision Manager. So this takes this. Sorry. So remember, you gotta call that in the constructor there. So we'll go back. So at the moment, seems to all be working, but all right, we will need to fix that as well. We'll do that in a bit. So at the moment, oh no, not working. Alright, sorry guys. So what we've done is we'll head back into, we're not even calling this function just here at the moment. So what we need to do is head back into the Space Shooter program just here. The Space Shooter class just here, and add that function. So Collision Manager dot detect collision, and hopefully that should all work right now. There will still be an issue though, I believe. So that all works. Currently though, we'll throw an error just because the maximum value for the shield is 100. So obviously you can't go over that. So within the Collision Manager class, we just need to add a little bit extra code. So let's say within the pill hit, just in here. So if the player shield is less than 80, remove it and then add it to there. So if the player is at max shields, as it is just here, it won't pick it up. Perfect. So that's working as intended, I'd say. So I think it's time to add in Yeah, I'd say it's time to add in some UFOs, some enemies. So add a new class. Name it UFO. Pretty straightforward. This will also be an abstract class. Sorry, so public abstract class UFO. And then, yeah, so we'll need a few things in this class. So we're going to need a picture box, UFO. We won't initialize it quite yet. We'll need the position. We'll also need the top position, and we'll need some properties for these as well. Beautiful. So create a constructor for this. We'll change this to UFO spawn. Can't have the same name as the class. And we'll just create a constructor in here. Yeah. So, okay. Alright, we'll just write it as, actually no, we don't need a constructor, sorry, my bad. We'll create a function called, we'll make it virtual so we can override it. We'll make it spawn UFO. How about that? Form. So very similar to the pill class here, just spawning in. So, and what we'll do is create the new instance in here. So UFO equals new picture box, or a new picture box. We'll add a tag to that. So the tag will be UFO. Whoops, or tag will be UFO. And the geez, can't type. It's pretty straightforward. Size mode will be picture size mode will be auto size. How about that? So tag, not tab. That's pretty much all we're going to need here for the UFO class. We'll make a, how about, so I think we're going to have a few types of UFOs in this. We'll head back into the resources tab here. So I'm going to have yellow, red, green, blue. Might not do all of them. I'll just get the base going. We'll start off with a yellow for now. So we'll create a new class. What am I doing? Go class. Name it UFO yellow. This class will inherit the UFO class. Now, if we go back to our completed, so bear with me. If we go into my computer starts to work. All right, so you'll see we've got the yellow UFO kind of shooting out in 4 directions here. So we'll need to implement directions for the lasers and a bunch of lasers as well. So we'll go back into the code here. So within here, we'll need to have a laser that goes down. Sorry, laser down. So we need 4 lasers for all 4 directions. So we'll go laser up, down, left, and right. We're going to need a new timer. We need to use, sorry, pardon me, we're going to need the forms as well. I think it's just Windows Forms here, using system.windows.forms. So we need to be using the forms. Shoot timer equals new timer. So we need a new timer. We're going to need a reference to the game screen. So we need reference to the form. We are going to need another random number. Random number, sorry. Random num, that'll work. New random. Alright, so we're going to need to first have a few functions in here. So we'll go, first we'll override the spawn UFO function from the UFO class. We're also going to need to, I guess we'll do this first. So within the spawn, so first we want to call the base function, add a few extra bits in there. So we're going to go change the spawn location, so that'll be a random position. So I think the way I had it working was the yellow, oh that won't run, jeez. So the yellow, sorry, so we'll have the yellow UFOs spawning from up here, heading downwards, shooting in all 4 directions. We have the red UFOs coming in from the right, shooting to the left, and the, I think it was green from the left, shooting to the right. Oops. We will need to go into design and change that to, so you can change it so that doesn't happen. So maximize box, false as well, just so the user doesn't accidentally blow it up anytime. Alright, so we'll go back into the yellow UFO here. We will spawn this, so on the y-axis, so minus 200, so it's actually outside of the bounds, and then we'll go between, yeah, that should be fine. So yeah, we'll leave that like that. We'll leave it like that for now. So the left, so you can spawn. Sorry, the x-axis, sorry, this is for the left. So it will spawn anywhere between minus 200 being outside of the minus 200 and 1200, so just over here. So it'll spawn, we essentially wanted to spawn within this area just up here, so it can come in from the sides and the top as well. So we'll just copy that because I'm lazy, take this. So from the top, we'll want it to go from negative 100, so that's 0, negative 100, this area up here, and 0. So a random integer between that area there for the y-axis. We want to set the game screen equals the form. We want to create the, what do we want to do? We want to create the image for the image for the UFO. Properties dot resources UFO. I think it was yellow. Yes, yellow. We want to add it to our game space. So we go game screen. Yeah, game screen is what we call it. Yep. I want to add it to the controls, so add, and then add the UFO spawn. We want to bring the UFO to the front. Oops, bring to front. And then we want to set our timer. So we'll group them all together so it looks a bit nicer. So it was a shoot timer, I think it was. Yeah, shoot timer dot interval. We'll have that just every second, seems fair. Shoot timer. So we need to add that event as well. So event handler. We'll name that shoot tick. Yep. And then we just need to start the timer. Once again, we need to create this function. Sorry, don't need to be public, private. Oops, private void. So shoot tick takes an object. Oops, sender and event argument. Event box, yeah. Awesome stuff. So we got that going. should clear up. All right, sweet. So from inside here, what do we need to do? So we need to create some lasers, have them shoot in a certain direction, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So all we need to do is just go laser down. So laser down equals new laser. Oh, not laser. All right. We don't actually have any enemy lasers at the moment, so for now, we'll leave this as is. Head back to our solution here, and we'll actually need to add a new class, because at the moment we don't actually have a laser for our enemies. So we'll head back into that class. Bear with me. Where are we going here? So laser red. We'll inherit from the laser class, as we've done a few times now. We'll just override the function, the create laser function there. Should be nice and fill it out for us. Head down. So very similar to the blue laser function. Like always, I'm very lazy, and I'm just gonna steal that from there, move it along, and change this to laser red, I would assume. Laser red, right, laser red up, and laser red down. We'll change this to enemy laser to differentiate it from the friendly player laser, and that is the general gist of that one. So we'll head back into our UFO now, and we need to create, we have to initiate those lasers. So what we'll need to do is, so what we need to do is new laser down, I think it was. So what do we got here? Laser up, down, left, right. So we'll go laser up equals a new laser red, because it's going to be an enemy laser. Laser up equals new enemy red. 4 lasers, 3 extra. Down, left, right. Now we're going to need to set some directions for those as well, some more stuff. Can't help but notice that I've misspelled that. Laser right. Fix that up a bit. What are you telling me? Never used? Not yet. Alright, so we've got to go the laser down direction. We'll go down first, I guess. No, we'll go up first. So laser up. Dot direction. Dot direction equals direction dot up. Awesome. We need to change the position. Laser up dot, sorry, dot, what do we have it as? Laser position. No, what's going on here? Sorry, laser up, laser left position. Yeah, we've got left position equals the UFO spawns to the UFO's position. Left plus, so similar to the player, UFO spawn, and the width will go first, so it'll come out from the center there. Copy, paste, laser top, oops, height. Alright, so from there we'll then go down, and then we'll need to add the laser. Oops, sorry, we'll need to add the laser to our game screen. So we need to create laser. Jeez, really can't type today. Create laser and add it to the game screen. Alright, so from that point onwards, we'll need to go one for down, left, right. So from here, just change. Direction down. That's pretty much it for that one. Left, so up, down, left, and right. Right. Whoop. Whoop. Sorry, my keyboard's playing up. It likes to hold keys. Alright, so I think for now that should be the general gist of it. I guess we should spawn some. Actually, bear with me. So at the moment, so currently, so we have no way of, so say we were to spawn a UFO into the game space here, if we were to shoot that, get rid of it, we currently don't actually, the lasers aren't going to go. So we need a way to get rid of the lasers for when the UFO itself is actually destroyed, or else we're just going to have a bunch of stuff flying around the screen. So if the game screen, so if the controls, so if the game screen does not contain the UFO, so yeah, so if the, yeah, that'll work. So the game screen does not contain the UFO, we want to get rid of all these lasers as well. So we'll just nullify them. So we'll null them out. So just standard stuff. Left. So if the screen does not contain this UFO here, just get rid of the lasers and stop the time. How about that? Okay. If not, you are welcome to keep shooting however you please. So add that in there. So alright, awesome. So I guess we need to spawn a UFO, I guess. So we'll head back into the spawn manager here. We will create a new function, call it for spawn yellow UFO. Alright, so yeah, it's a new UFO, you call it new. I don't know if that, yeah, it's fine. UFO, so we'll just call it just UFO, it doesn't really matter at this point. The equals new UFO yellow, and we will then spawn UFO yellow onto the game screen. No, that's not what I want. I want spawn UFO. And I've got a mad typo in there, so just bear with me. So change this, spawn UFO, and then that should also change the spawn UFO in here. Alright, awesome. So we'll go back into the spawn manager, spawn UFO to the game screen. So that's good. We got the functionality to actually spawn it. Now we're not actually calling this function anywhere. So within the spawn tick, we will need to, I guess pretty much just copy and paste this. Moving along. We need to, doesn't matter if we have one already in there, so we'll just need to spawn the yellow UFO. I think at this, so we'll leave it like this just to see if it's all working. There we go. UFO's up there, beautiful. And it is shooting. Not actually moving or doing anything too amazing at the moment, but that's a good start, at least I'd say. All right, so I guess we gotta implement some, some AI into there, bit of movement, just something to have the UFOs actually, come towards the player. So what we'll do is we'll head into, I think we made the enemy movement. Yeah, we did. So we made a movement class just here. So within this class, we're going to need a few things. So we need a reference once again. We need another reference to the game itself, or the form. We also need another timer, be sure to use the correct timer using Windows. System dot Windows dot forms. So be sure to be using the forms timer. Game, or name it game time. Yeah, equals new timer. So that's alright. And then we will we need an integer to. So the way we're going to have this work is for X a period of time elapsed, we will increase the speed of our enemies. So we're not going to spawn more enemies over time. They're just going to be faster and come towards the player at a faster rate, faster speed. Sorry. So what we're going to need is a constructor for this. Nice and easy. Once again, we're going to need to set the reference to the game. Game screen equals game. So need to set the game time. Interval equals, so we'll say every 20 seconds we'll increase the speed. Just because if we did it too fast, the game's going to be over pretty quickly. So we need to once again create the new event handler. Game tick, we'll keep it. I believe that's most of what we're going to need there. We're going to need to create the game tick function. So once again, it's the object sender event argument e, and then we'll leave that for now. So I think every tick will go the time elapse. So time elapse will increase. So yes, I think we should rename this. Time elapse probably isn't the best. So I'd say speed, which just makes more sense. Alright, so for every 20,000, so for every 20 seconds, 20,000 milliseconds, we'll increase the speed. Yeah, that makes more sense. So we'll go down. We need to create a function to move the UFO. And within this, we would need to, so for each UFO on the screen, would need to apply. So for each control, so for every control in game screen, so in the game screen dot controls, if X is picture box, so if it is a picture box, and the tag, so similar to like we did earlier, so we'll cast it, tag equals UFO, do this. So in here, pretty much it's not going to be anything special, which is pretty basic AI. So if the left of it is greater than the game, the player left, just bear with me, just copy that a few times. So if the UFO is greater than the player's left, we would need to move it to the left. Pardon me. Copy that a bunch. So if the left is less than, we'll go to add to that, and this will be top, top. Oops, top. Greater than, yeah, less than. So if the top is less than the player top, we need to add to that Alright, so that's our basic movement implemented there. So pretty much, it'll pretty much just start, flying towards the player. So if it's greater than the players, move to the left. Less than the players, so a bit to the right, or move to the left, so on and so forth. So, I think for that is pretty much all we're going to need for the enemy movement. It's pretty straightforward. We'll just need to implement that within the actual shooter. So I think this will probably throw an error now. So we'll need to move this into that. Take the movement within here. Move the UFO. So every tick, it'll just move it a bit closer towards the player. I don't think we've actually got any collision at the moment, but we'll make sure that all works as intended. As you can see, pretty slow. Seems like our stuff's moving. I think at the moment it's gonna start playing up. We should change the rate in which these spawn, because I think that's just a bit too much. So we might bump that up a bit to something a bit more feasible. I've got to give the player a chance so we can shoot along. Pill's still spawning nicely, and here we go. So no interactions there, no like collision detection or anything like that but at least the UFOs are following the player as intended, which is good. So it doesn't look like they're following up. Oh yep, there we are. So awesome. So okay, so what should we do? We'll handle some collision between the player and the UFO, I guess. So we'll implement so we can hit the UFO. So what we'll do now, head back into our collision manager, and within this little bit here, so for each, so we're gonna loop through 2 elements within the controls on the form. So we'll need another for each loop. We'll do y. Sorry. So we'll go we'll go for each control y in game screen. So just as above, not controls. We will need to test. So if y is a picture box and the tag is so we'll cast a string, so the tag equals, I think it was player laser. Yeah, I'm just gonna trust my instincts now. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And x, so if y is player laser and x, so the second object is so x is also a picture box, and the tag is so if the tag equals UFO, so if your laser intercepts a UFO, then we will probably need a new, we already put it in, so we'll need to add UFO hit. Now we're going to need to, obviously this isn't doing much right now, but that's the general idea of how this is going to work. We will probably add some more stuff in here in a bit, add some more stuff in here, but for now we'll work on the UFO. So head down, very similar to what we had up here, except for the fact that we have the 2 controls coming in. So we will need control X and control Y for the 2 separate picture boxes. If X dot bounds dot intersects with Y dot bounds. So if X intercepts with Y, so if the laser, I think in this case, or either or, the laser intercepts with the UFO, we want to, controls dot remove. We want to remove both, so we need to remove that. So we need to cast the picture box just to make sure we actually want things being disposed, or else we're not going to have a good time. Oops. Just need to manage resources and stuff like that. So we need to go into here. Y. Change that as well. So dispose of both. So you need to dispose of both the laser and the UFO, and then we will need to, I guess, add some screen. So we need to, I think it was score. So let's say every time you kill a UFO, we'll add 10 points. Alright, so now it's going to throw a bit of an error up here. So we'll just change that to, so we'll just go, just Y and X. Now that should be all we need to do. So we'll just need to go back into here, shoot around, make sure I haven't screwed up anything in the process. Just wait patiently. I'm sure they'll come. Fingers crossed. I think I might up the spawn rate for them, just so I'm not waiting around for UFOs all day. Alright, bear with me. We'll go back to spawn manager. We'll up it up. Not too crazy. We'll go for the sake of this. We'll go 50%. Yeah. Hello. Shoot. Boom. Gets rid of him. Shoot. Dead. Whoop. Bye bye. Alright, awesome. So that is working pretty well so far. So I guess I don't think we've actually implemented any way. I don't think that do we take damage? No. So currently we can shoot them. They can't shoot us. Not really the funnest game. Not very hard, I should say. So what we'll need to do is add some collision while we're already in the, while we're in the collision manager, similar to what we got up here. Be lazy, copy and paste. So we'll go player. So if the player gets hit by an enemy laser, so hit by enemy laser, we'll do player hit. So player hit's going to be very, very, very similar to this just here. Just, it's not going to increase the score. So very similar to that. Pretty much exactly the same, but instead of that, we will we'll say they lose 5. We'll give that a crack. There is a bit of doubling up on the code there. You could probably add another function within here, something along the lines of like private void remove just remove will do well. It's fine. And why is my keyboard playing up again? Sorry guys. Remove. So, whack this code in there, and then put this in here, and then change this to yeah, that works that works fine. So just change this to X and Y. So something like that, just so we're not doubling up on stuff like that. Make sure that all works. Hello, bye-bye. Alright, sweet, perfect. So what do we got? We got us getting hit by it yet? No? Alright, so currently we're not taking damage, but they are. Points, you'll see points are going up as well, which is good. Alright, so why are we not taking any damage? So let's just make sure that we've got laser red, enemy laser. Collision Manager, just make sure all the spelling of stuff is correct. What did I have it as? Nope, absolutely 100% was not correct. Alright, let's go back in. Alright, so problem is, take damage, I get removed. I guess they weren't exactly the same, so I guess we will just probably just get rid of all of what I just did. And get rid of, so player hit, so the player will be the Y, so the player will be X, so get rid of that. Alright, so ignore all of what I just said. Let's see what's going on here. Shoot. Still no interactions, that's right. Change this name back. There we go. Should take damage, you'll see. Taking damage, shields going down. Pick up the thing, boom. Perfect, so that's good. So we'll go back to spawn. We'll take that down a bit as well. Go back. Alright, so now we can... Alright, what can we do? So we can take damage, we can give damage. That's pretty much the general... the main core play, I guess. We're just gonna essentially add some more players. I mean, some more laser types and some more UFOs. So we'll leave that for now. Well, actually, we can. So currently, okay, I see. So currently we. So you'll see here, currently we can take damage by of course, I have to put it down. So pretty much currently we take damage from the laser, but if we were to collide with the UFO itself, not really taking any damage. It may look like I'm taking damage, but that's just that's the lasers. So I'll have to go create another one of these. Literally copy and paste and do UFO as well, because we will need to take damage if we collide with the UFO. That's pretty much all we need for the collision class by the looks of it. I'll just clean some stuff up here. So we got that UFO, we got the players. That's pretty much that's done. So what I will do is we'll implement, I guess, a couple more UFOs, and just to show you how to do it, we'll go red. We'll go new UFO. So we'll make a new UFO. Now that we got the base of the program, it's pretty easy to just start, you know, adding stuff in. Add a new class. Go UFO red. Nice and easy. Very similar to the yellow one, the yellow class. I think this one was, we're just gonna have the laser shooting in the single direction, so we'll need a laser. I think we'll go to the left. Timer again. Lazy. Timer. Oops. Timer. The shoot timer, similar to the other class. Timer. We'll need the game screen again. We need a random number again. So equals, new random. Whoop. We need to override that function once again. Alright, void spawn. Awesome, nice and easy. So similar to the UFO yellow, might just be a bit lazy again, copy that in, because it's pretty similar. So we'll want to spawn this guy. We'll have him coming from the right of the window, so above the 1000 on the x-axis, so coming in this way, shooting towards the left. So you know, change all that, because, And then we'll have him come in from, let's say, mid-ish. Yeah, okay. So not clear. Somewhere in this general area there. Awesome. So that's the new direction. We need to change the sprite. Add it. That's all good. Yeah, it's pretty much the general gist of it. So we need to add that function again. I'm just going to copy it from here because, yeah, super lazy. Why write things twice? Not going to use all of that, I can't imagine. So what do we got? We got laser left, so we'll just clear out all this filler here. Clear that out. Don't need any of this. Up, down. Don't need any of that. Don't need any of that. Just that, and we don't need any of that. So very similar to the yellow. Just changing it up a bit, I guess. Awesome. So that's all sorted in here. Timer's all good. Interval. So you could change the interval to something a bit slower if you really wanted, something a bit bigger. So say 1200, just so it shoots a bit faster, gives it a bit more character. We'll head back into the spawn manager just over here, because of course it's going to be very similar to that. So we'll go spawn red UFO, UFO red, add it to the screen, pretty much copy and paste that. Spawn red UFO. Awesome. So that's pretty good. I think for now that should work pretty fine. Let's just make sure. Yellow. And there he is, shooting towards the left, towards me. Now, what I also want to do is give him his own laser. So at the moment we got blue and red. Red distinguishes what's an enemy's laser. So what we can do is give him his own, call it laser, red, big. Very similar to this, just here. Pretty much steal that section there. Sorry, just make sure I'm pulling the right amount. No, I'm not. So pretty much steal that. Come into here. Drop it down. Change the image to whatever I named it to, so I guess I named it just red, I guess. Let me have a look. I think it's a circle or something, so let's go laser red 8. Okay, you can probably rename that, but it's not too important. So red 8, doesn't matter what direction it's in because it is just, yeah, so it can be even more lazy and just do that. So current laser form, make sure you let the code know that it is in fact a laser. Form reference, what's going on here? Yeah, that forms, that's right. Awesome. So that's pretty much all we need to do. It is an enemy laser. Go back into the UFO, and all you need to do really is just change the laser to the red big laser. So we've been able to, from the laser class, we've been able to create a friendly laser, enemy laser, and we can pretty much just keep doing this till the end of time. Head in. So we got yellow shooting in all 4 directions, working perfectly. Copping a bit of damage there. Clear some of them out. And then we got the red towards the right shooting his over there, which should also take damage with the detection. Alright, so that's all working as intended. Heal up again. Awesome. All works as intended. Might need to change. You can tweak the variables to how often things spawn and as you want. With the demonstration, I'll just have stuff coming out pretty frequently. So we've made red UFO, yellow UFO. We made the lasers individually. I'm not going to bother creating the green coming from the left. That's something you could probably do yourself. Just it's the same process. The base of the classes are there, so it's just a matter of customizing them however you choose. That's pretty much the general gist of it. We're gonna need, I guess we'll start off. Make a simple forms here, just something nice and simple in our main menu. Keep it all very similar. Black, 1000, 900, centered. That's not the size I wanted. 1900. Change it to center, like things popping up centered. Get rid of a lot of this stuff. Don't want them to be able to change that. Get rid of the icon. What else do we want? Change the design. Main menu's fine. Just call it Space Shooter again, I guess. You don't really need to name it anything else. Pretty straightforward. Chuck a label in there. Size, I'll go bold, nice and big, white. Yeah, it's good enough. Change the label name, label, title. Change that, space, shooter. Maybe a bit bigger. Just chuck it in. We'll need some buttons as well. So we'll have 2 buttons mainly. So we'll go, where are we? Isn't it alphabetical? Sometimes I hate finding stuff in here. We'll have 2. It seems good enough. Right there, chuck it in the corner. Make a second one, chuck it in that corner. We'll name this button the button quit. Button quit seems fine. Change the text, quit game. Change the font, make it bigger. Yeah, it's good enough. We could even just copy that one. Change the name. Button, start game, I guess. Start game, works fine. Text, start game. Nice and easy. Now what you can do in here is you can so for this you can add events for on click. What I like to do, which is a lot easier, is just double click on it. It'll take you straight here. It'll create a function straight away. Rename it, so Control R twice. Button, what was it? So button start game. So beer button start game. Click. Simple. Back to design. Same for this button. Quit click. So oops, sorry, that's not what I wanted to press. So button quit click. Easy as that. And then that's pretty much it. So from here, you actually want to go back into your program. So currently your program will start with the main game, essentially. So instead of starting with that, we want to come in here, change it to start with the main menu, head back into the code for this. So currently, if we were to start this, it would do absolutely nothing. It would just sit here. You go click this, nothing, click there, nothing. So what we need to do as well is in the main menu code there. So we will need to, so when you click on the start game button just here, create a new game. So space shooter, oops, game equals new space shooter. So create a new game. And then you want to display that game. Show dog. Oops. Alright, so then back here, this dot close. So that's our main menu done. So starts the game up, close, quits the game. Pretty straightforward. So we'll leave that for now. Let's think. So we've got a main menu. We'll need a are we going to do a game over screen? We'll do a game over screen as well. Scores are going up. Jen, I think that's pretty much most of it. So I just want to double check and make sure I haven't forgotten anything. So pretty much got the shooter done. Yeah, scores done. So we'll head back to the shooter class quickly. Sorry guys, it's pretty early in this one. Oops, that's not what I want. View code. So I've got the movement sorted, got the input. So pretty much, yeah, we need to add this. Thought so. So we need to add. So if the game over, we need to first of all, we need a game over screen. So game over.cs. That's not what I wanted particularly. Delete that. Sorry, you need to create a new form. There it is. Game over.cs. Look, I'm gonna be lazy and just take the main menu. Control A, Control C, come over here, Control V. Well, should probably change the form first. So 1000, 900, sweet. Control V. Click that. Take the background, make it black. So it's pretty much the same. We'll have another. We'll just chuck this, I guess, here, and we will say the score. So we'll go text score. Score will be here. So score will sit in the middle there. Let's let it sit there, I guess. We'll change the label name. Label score. And I think that's pretty much all we're going to need for that. So we'll go into the code. Where is it? Game over. We'll go into the actual code itself. So in here we are going to need to know the score. So that's where we'll put this in here. I'll need to add this final score. Yeah. And I will need to where with me. So final score. We'll need to assign that to whatever the score is when we create this object. Come in here. We need to buttons for that. Buttons for that. Rename button. Start. Game clicks. I think I'll go main menu actually. So we'll go button main menu. So this will take us back to the main menu as opposed to starting the game. So we'll go main menu, design, main menu, button main. How about that? That works. Button main and then button quick. So pretty much main menu, just close. And same with the quit. So I guess we don't even need to quit. We just need to. So I guess quit will application. So I guess we can go app dot close. Is it close or dispose or exit? Well, I'm pretty sure it's exit. So we can go exit. So how about that? All right, sweet. So we go there. When we so we need to come up here, double click the actual form. That'll bring up a function for when it loads. So we need to do the label score, change the text to final score, and then that will just be the score of the game. Now that should all work pretty fine. Head back into the space shooter, wherever you are. There it is. space shooter back down here. We just need to, so once the player, so if the player is not alive, obviously end of the game. Head down to, what do we need to do? So we need to create that object and send the, yes, okay, sweet, sorry. What do we name it again? So game over, game over equals new game over. Send the score through. Show the dialogue. What am I doing? Show the dialogue. Show the form. Sorry, I should say. And then so once this is closed, close this window too. So we'll head in, see what we're working with, start the game. 10 points, nice, another 10 points, cool. Probably won't heal. We'll just let these guys take me out, and we'll should be moved on to, there we go. Final score, we'll fix that up. So you'll see here, everything stopped moving, stuff should stop spawning. Main menu, it'll close the game instance and take us back to the main menu where you can quit. Now, game over, head back to the game over, just to fix that up. Change it so it moves towards the center screen. Move the text, maybe make the text a bit smaller, I guess. Make it a bit smaller. And then I guess center it as well, so that might look a bit nicer. Try that again. Open it up. Start the game. Shoot around. Take a couple shots. Oh yeah, sorry, forgot that I'm trying to die. And final score, space shooter, quick game, close application. Yeah, that's pretty much the general gist of it. Feel free to, you can, go as far as you want. You can add, the sprite pack itself actually has a whole bunch of other stuff. So feel free to kind of mix and match with what's there and what's available. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed that tutorial there. See ya.